Yeah. Good. Hello YouTubers and welcome to another Monday, another suit Monday. But remember, you don't have to wear a suit on a Monday. You can do whatever you want to help motivate yourself through the beginning of the week and avoid those Monday blues. But we're out here walking Yam, making sure he's ready to go for his Monday for the beginning of the week. We finally reached the beginning of team training here at Leander Club. Behind me, the water is absolutely fantastic. Behind the piling barge here, we've got the program, but I'm not sure the timings of today. So we're excited to talk to the coaches, organize everything there, and get set for at least the next few weeks. But now it's time to get Yam walked, get him running around, get into the club, get changed, get stretched, and get ready for the first team training session of the year. Oh yeah! And the first weight session is done for the first day of team training here at the club. Pretty good to see a lot of new faces and get to know everybody and get lifting with a team of the whole team, not just a few of the guys. But now, as always, after any session, it's time to fuel up, because remember, food is fuel. And we've made it into the crew room to fuel up after the session. We've got the Hands Cup or the Nets Cup on the TV. It's a 12.7k race where there's very interesting things going on. So we're going to watch that while fueling up. We're just going to get my breaded egg toast to fuel up post-weight session and watch sort of last half of this race, where it almost seems like two of the boats are rowing in 60s against two boats that are rowing in 8s. Oh yeah! And we've got the breaded egg toast. We've finished watching the Nets Cup, one of the longest races of rowing there is, so all national teams get to race. Stanhope, your review of the race.
It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Why would that be, Stanhope?
Well, they're like two leading crews. The German guy, the free man, was having a tough time and they ended up not rowing for a little bit. And then the Dutch overtook, and the Dutch two-man ended up not rowing for a bit. And then the Germans re-overtook them, both rowing in 6s. So quite a good race.
Definitely recommend watching the race.
Yeah.
So at Nets Cup, N-E-T-Z, is it Nets Cup this year?
Yeah.
So go ahead and watch that. But now it's time to get some breaded egg toast, are you? And it's now time to get on the water after fueling up. So let's get to it. Fuel up, because remember, food is fuel. And we've made it off the water into the crew room for fueling up. We've got some delicious, it's not breaded egg toast, but bolognese. Absolutely fantastic. To fuel up after a row on the water. How was your row, Ed?
It was tranquil.
Tranquil. What's the Stu?
Pretty good. Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. Now let's fuel up. And we've made it outside of the club for the first team training day here at Leander Club. Yam is already in the vehicle to head back to the house to recover after the first day Yes, and now he's back out the car. Yes. But what is the first day of training all about? Well, it's a little bit about introducing yourself to the new people that join the club or join your team. It's a little bit about getting used to the change of pace. That's a big thing. When you're training by yourself, you're at your pace, whether it's fast or slow or mid-pace, if it will. You do, or at least for this summer anyway, on off season, as it starts to rain a little bit. Not seen rain for a while, but the pace when you're by yourself can be okay. Like I've been trying to get lions as much as possible, which aren't happening now because we're in team training and we all turn up at the same time and we train together, and there's more people that depend on each other and a whole network of people that depend on each other. So that's a big thing about sort of the pace of training, and also getting all the coaches in as well. So over the pre-season or the off-season, all training by ourselves. So a bit less feedback, and getting the feedback is so much better rather than getting feedback from sort of internally or from a mirror or from the same people. Getting the feedback from a load of different people is always amazing, and that's one of the big things about sort of the start of team training, is having that different perspective, not just from the coaches, but also from the other athletes that join in. So we've been training together in a group of, say, around 5, and now the team is full, the building is full of people, and that makes a big difference. Not only for training, you have different perspectives, like I said, so some people might approach the rowing stroke in a different way. Some people might approach weights in a different way, and then you can sort of talk about that together and figure out what works best. But also just outside of training as well, you have more people to discuss things with, you have more opinions that may clash, that may work with yours. They can all just sort of bounce off each other, talk to each other together and work things up, make new friends and communicate in different ways that you might not have thought that you'd be communicating like previously, if that makes sense. But really good to have team training back here at the club. It's not really been, I wouldn't say, definitely not been a long summer, but it's been a different summer for me. I've had some awesome training, even though I've been doing a heavily reduced workload or volume load, and I've been doing a lot of research on sort of different training methods, and I'm really excited to get back into training as a team and putting that into the boats that we're going forward with. So the next target, and I'll speak about targets, especially for motivating yourself, the next target here will probably be November trials, or at least the next big target. So trials here in the GB sort of training system, the GB rowing system, is a big part of what we do throughout the year. It can decide who goes into the national team, whether it's under 23s, juniors, or even the senior team. But obviously with it being Olympic year, the trials process is or at least the spots available that the trials process are for in all the different teams, especially the national team going to the Olympics in 2020 in Tokyo, are very slim. So previous years before Rio and before London, there's only been a couple of people that go from not on the team in the year before the Olympics to on the team on the year of the Olympics. And so that's sort of, everyone has to put that into perspective, me as well. So maybe it's sort of thinking about, okay, what do I have to do? It has to be a massive change to have a chance this year. But then that's, you kind of look at what timeline you're looking at, and then you're saying, okay, November trials is the first target, and then it's a point of assessment. So depending on the performance in November trials, then you I can kind of say, okay, this was the performance, this is where I needed to be, or I am, or I need to be, and this is where I can go from there. But that's a glimpse into the future. Right now, we're into the training block now for that. So it's about 8 or 9 weeks, which is an awesome amount of time to really get some adaptations in, whether it's in the weight room or on the erg. And so I saw some good adaptations. I spoke about that a couple of weeks ago about for the erg, about the fitness, actually feeling like it was really improving. And so that's what I want to feel going into trials. So in about 8 weeks time, I want to be able to say to you guys, okay, I'm feeling that same thing, I'm feeling fitter, I'm hopping on the erg, getting the same heart rate, and I'm going a little bit faster. It doesn't have to be splits and splits, just maybe half a split here or a split there. But we'll have plenty of tests coming up as well through the next few weeks and into trials to sort of benchmark, like I said, against myself and against others. But now it is time to go home, rest up, and get some recovery in for training tomorrow. And as always, Yam Squad, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will see you tomorrow on the second day of training.